anyone who wants to get an early first-hand look at Modern Warfare 2.
מה קורה אנשים? חזרנו בסרטון הכרזה של Call of Duty. וזהו, כמה אני מתרגש. איך הם דוחים לך את ה-reloading?
But don't forget, friends, it's also definitely worth noting that if you pre-order the Vault edition of Modern Warfare 2, you get to use the red Team 141 Operator Pack and the FJX Cinder Weapon Vault in the beta edition, to being able to earn in-game rewards for playing all sorts of cool swag. And don't forget that if you digitally pre-order Modern Warfare 2, you also get up to a week early of campaign access. So wait, campaign a week early. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed that first look at Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer. Don't forget, you're going to get to see it live and in action in a few short minutes with our crazy set of streamers and ready to rock and roll. But first, we'll be right back to show off the world premiere of Warzone 2.0. Don't go anywhere. Call of Duty next, brought to you by Mountain Dew, official drink of Modern Warfare 2.
Wow, okay.
Little Caesars, a proud partner of Call of Duty next and Modern Warfare 2. HyperX, official peripheral partner. Play like a pro on the big screen with 144Hz VRR and AMD FreeSync, now on TCL's 6 Series TVs. Prime Gaming. Visit gaming.amazon.com today and start claiming your free content.
Cringe.
We have 200 creators here on site, marching down the green carpet with one mission in mind: to be the first players to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
And there is so much in this game. There is always too much.
This is like one of those days where I enter and my hopes are
Can you
so
ever
high.
talking?
And what are you looking forward to most when it comes to Warzone 2?
Prison rescue.
I'm looking forward to using that inflatable soldier decoy to mess a lot of players.
Kill streaks, I think.
I'm honestly here just to learn as much as I can to prep for old men of Optic, because those guys are very old now.
So maybe some OG maps coming back.
A map that everyone can play.
Honestly, give me a broken shotgun.
What's your favorite game mode and Mountain Dew flavor combo?
Search and destroy Code Red.
Capture the flag, Code Red.
If I'm going hard with the boys on a long night at S&D and I'm trying to get some nasty in-game comms, I'm drinking Baja Blast all night.
Terminal or high rise?
Easy terminal.
Ooh, terminal. Most people have terminal nostalgia. Terminal. Terminal, 100%. I just replayed that recently and I realized that spawn trapping is horrendous. Easy. Strike.
High rise.
High rise.
Terminal.
What's your favorite flavor of Mountain Dew?
I've grown up on Code Red, so it's still Code Red for me.
Honestly, I like the basic one, just Mountain Dew itself.
Dang, I was gonna pick Code Red too.
Can I get a second one?
Alright.
Baja Blast.
Starting October 17th,
למה אתה לא בשרת? איזה שרת, אח? ליק, אני פה עם חבר בשיחה, אחי, אנחנו רואים את הליקו יחד. אני קורא לזה ליק בכלל. מה, אתה לא מבין איך אני מתרגש, אחי, אימא'לה. איך אני אוהב את המשחק הזה, השם ישמור. חבר'ה, סידרתי גם טוב סוף את האינטרנט, כמו שאתם רואים. אני יכול לשדר עכשיו על פול HD, כאילו על 1080 ולא נורמלי, מה שנקרא. יהיה תוכן.
And it does look awesome. However, we need some true experts to help out. Back at the desk here, we have got Stephanie Snowden, Joe Seacott is joining us, but of course, welcome Jack O'Hara, game director at Infinity Ward. Joe, how are we feeling? We ready to party here? I mean, this is a lot. We need to know everything. Warzone 2.0. Stephanie, the world cannot wait.
It feels crazy for me to be up here revealing Warzone 2.0. I ended up at IW as a fan of the game, and so this moment is absolutely bananas for me. But Warzone 2.0 is everything that we love about the original Warzone, right? Where it's based on the same experience that we all had, that fun, all of those moments, and it's a return to shared tech across the universe for Modern Warfare 2, and that's going to create a really streamlined player experience. And I think the key innovations that we discussed for multiplayer, those all exist across Warzone 2.0 as well. So we're bringing it back. It's all connected. It's the same world, and I think the players are going to love it.
Oh my good God. Real excited about this one. Again, there's a lot in this one, Jack. where do we go from here?
So MW2 and Warzone 2 have been developed side by side since the beginning.
אני מראים עכשיו את זה? את הוורזון?
And they're part of the same
אני חושב שזה...
Like Steffi said, they share the same mechanics, the same
weaponry. תאריך התחתנתי אחי ב-18 לשמיני.
The centerpiece of all this, of course, is the new map that we've been working on since 2020 with teams across the world. It brings together our philosophies on map design.
איזה משחקים אני משחק היום? אני בעיקר משחק טאוור או פנטזי. זה כמו משחק כמו גנשין ובטלפילד בגדול. זה שתי המשחקים היחידים בערך שאני משחק כרגע. ואסאסינס קריד ולהלה, כי יצאה הרחבה.
Well, here we go, a brand new map to explore and traverse. I cannot wait. Stephanie, let's take a look.
That's right, Miles. Welcome to Al Mazrah.
זאת המפה של Warzone.
Warzone 2.0. It is an
what the fuck, אתה שומע אותם מאחורה? מה זה?
אני שומע פעמיים, זה ממך?
expansive desert settings with
אני שומע אותם מאחורה.
כן.
towns and cities way better on this screen than it did on Twitter.
טוב מהליקים.
But you're gonna find a lot of really cool elevation, rocky peaks, caves, subterranean spaces. This map is beautiful, and it's actually the biggest BR map that we've ever made. And I am so excited for all of our streamers here to jump into Al Mazrah later today.
It's huge. Look at the size of that thing.
למה אני לא מוד? עכשיו שמתי לב לזה.
And it's a great way to see
אמור להיות מאוד הקטע.
בוא'נה, הם מוציאים ציוצים תוך כדי.
כן, אני ראיתי.
So when we set out to create these spaces, the team works to make it feel like a real space, right? So that there's infrastructure in between all the different what we call points of interest.
נראה לי הם הביאו פה דברים מוורדנסק, פשוט שמו כאילו כדי שזה יהיה... היי, זה דום! זה דום! זה המפה הזאת ממוד הוופר 3!
ליאור מן של השרת? ליאור, מה החלפת זה? אני עכשיו שם אותך מאוד רגע. אז תהייתי אחי.
Whether it be the big city that's up the top right,
and
whether they want to explore that, or whether they want to work in some
the terminal!
Terminal!
Oh my god!
Looks familiar.
Terminal!
And there's a river system
וזה בוורזון, פאק אחי.
what's up with the Warzone?
Here's one of our favorites, Sour
Go!
Village, which is...
איך אנשים צועקים מאחורה, אני מת.
כן!
I love to swim, so you find me there.
Absolutely.
וואו, רגע,
תגידי שלום לג'וי ג'וי הקטנה. תגידי שלום לג'וי ג'וי.
We've been talking about this the last couple of days. This is our first time seeing other people who are not us play Warzone 2.0, and so I'm just very curious where you think everyone's gonna immediately drop today.
I think some people are gonna drop to Observatory just to go back to home, you know. You kind of hit a spot and you're like, wait
I've been here before.
This is
wow.
these flashbacks.
Some old
For that reason,
fans.
yeah, I'll say Corey. I think that's gonna pop off.
I think people will land around the edge so they stay in as long as possible in this.
Edge of the map.
We have some news for our edge of the map players coming up.
Ooh, all right, guys. Well, the map looks absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to watch our streamers here drop in early in an alpha build later on today. Okay, so moving on to the gameplay, we've got this beautiful space to play in. How do all of these multiplayer elements we've talked about a little bit earlier, how do they fit into Warzone 2.0?
I mean, the super simple answer is all the stuff we talked about in multiplayer, the stuff you saw in the multiplayer trailer, that's all in Warzone, right? It's all integrated. So that tactical camera works in Warzone, that decoy mine works in Warzone. Like, it's all of it's been built from the ground up for both. The slide, the dive,
זה ראינו, אבל בסדר, הוא מחליף. אבל תראה כמה זמן עד שזה מחליף לך, שאתה במים, כאילו, פאק, אחי.
This is a great taste of some of the water combat.
I can't wait to go full Captain America Apocalypse now, coming out of the water, knifing people. I mean, this just looks...
Yeah, the rendering team made some moves to come out looking all wet.
Yeah.
The caustics on the bottom.
Yep.
I'm not even sure what caustics are. I have no idea, but it sounds great and it looks incredible.
You can see the armor patrol boat coming by there with its two turrets.
So I'm glad you brought up vehicles. Steph, you touched on vehicles a little bit earlier. What can we talk about? You know, we've seen boats, we've seen tanks, we've seen all sorts. Jack, what have we got?
So we've implemented a new physics and handling model for the vehicles. So some vehicles are heavier, some will slide more, have more traction or less traction. And as you're driving them around and encountering them and other squads are playing with them, you can choose to shoot off the tires to kind of impact their handling. You can have them, they react to explosive differently based on their weight. So if you're in a heavy armored 4x4 and you get hit by an RPG, it's going to kind of bounce a little bit, but not quite take the hit as a small sedan. You can also choose with your squad to be rolling into a POI and somebody jumps out on the roof, somebody leans out the window, and suddenly you got yourself a lot of firepower driving into the POI. Of course, that vehicle needs to survive for quite some time in the map if you want to keep using it to go from point to point. And vehicles will run out of gas, or at least most of them will. Will run out of gas, and then you can bring them to a gas station to fill them up. Or you can bring it to a gas station to get repaired as well. And of course, we've got, you know, water vehicles, we've got a small boat, we've got the boat that Joe mentioned with the turret at the back. So you can have that little moment cruising up the river with your whole squad ready to rumble. So yeah, there is so much love that's gone into these vehicles.
The coolest vehicle.
The coolest vehicle.
ראית חיפה נגד פריז? אני לא רואה כדורגל אח יקר, אז זה היסטוריה, אני מאמין שאתה ראית, נהנית? אמרתי מכבי ניצחה או משהו, לא?
I mean, the fact that you can lean out of the window, you know, grab your teammates, pile in a vehicle, actually, you know, engage in battle from the window, leaning out, shooting in combat.
Unless somebody blew off your door.
That won't.
That does complicate things. איזה ניצחה באיזה נעליים? לא נגמר איזה 2-1, משהו כזה, ראית בפייסבוק, לא? פריז ניצחה 3-1, או...
There's a lot going on in Warzone 2.0, and my head is quite frankly spinning. What other massive changes have we got in store? Because it feels like there's so much that's changed. Is it still a gulag? Do we still have circles? Is it still gas? I know there are guns, but do we shoot them? What's happening?
What do you want to jump into first? Oh, Stephanie, go ahead, go.
You've made some pretty sweeping changes, I think, to the high-level components of Warzone 2.0 to continue providing players with both a dynamic and rewarding VR experience. But Warzone 2.0, you're going to hear it over and over today. It's about fun. This is about playing with your friends, having fun, you know, friends new and old. Maybe you're making them a game. And I think one particular feature that I cannot wait to see the streamers engage with will be your cross chat. Yes! So it's coming. It will be in Warzone, and there's going to be some amazing clips. But I think Joe can tell us a little bit more about looting in Warzone 2.0. I'm listening to that.
The streamers love cross chat.
They're like, yes!
You know, in looting in Warzone 2.0, you still have the hunting crates, you know, you can still travel around and listen for those. We wanted to add a layer of learnability and logic to our looting, right? So if you're outside, if you're a little kid, you fall down, you hurt your knee, you go inside, go to the medicine cabinet and get you something to a band-aid, neosporin, whatever. So that's our looting. If you need health items, you can hit a bathroom in a building and there'll be a medicine cabinet, you can open it up. If you want to get loadout items, there are these hidden caches throughout in between the POIs that are in ground, and you can memorize where they are because they're always there. So you can kind of start to develop these paths through the map of how you loot, and there's this logic applied to looting. You know, you can find toolboxes that'll have grenades and things in them, and you find these other crates that are kind of like, it's as if the military that occupied this space came through and dropped off military items. Those crates are always there, so you can always have this reliable layer to
אני רוצה לשמוע, נו.
It sounds really exciting. We go on a road trip through.
אני רוצה לשמוע.
לא, אבל אתה לא יכול טיפה להנמיך, כי אני שומע פעמיים.
אז תעשה לי מיוט.
Okay, cool. So what about circle mechanics? I mean, this is obviously a huge component of BR's, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, the circle's been a staple of BRs. It's been really hard to move away from it. So we kind of talked about what could we do to mix things up with the circle. So we've got this new mechanic where the circle can actually split, almost like a cell splits into 2, 3, or even 4. And those circles kind of close down.
הבנתי,
micro battles in those circles, and it's we've cleared out our circle, and then those circles merge, they come back together, and you know you have this very directed fight of like, gearing up and building, like, here we go, it's about to kick off, and as soon as the circles hit, you have that final fight.
אתה לא יכול לאן ללכת.
אתה גם לא יכול לזה, כי יש לך זום.
עכשיו אתה לא יכול לדעת, אף פעם אתה לא יכול לדעת איפה הפיינל סרקל.
Alright, so from circle splitting, what about the gulag? Is that still around? I mean, there's so much change, man. I mean, I'm ready for it, but Joe, what do we got?
The gulag, you know, we've been experimenting with, we've tried some crazy things.
היה גולג, אבל
the gulag that we have running right now, where we're excited people to play, is you're not in there alone. you actually have this temporary alliance with another opponent
אוי
נו, שמו 2 על 2 כביכול?
have to work together, and if you can defeat the
לא,
other
קודם
team,
אתה צריך לעבוד בצוות, ואז אתה נלחם נגד מי שהיית איתך אותו בצוות.
For that moment, it's like, all right, we need each other. Let's do this. You use the proximity to talk to each other. And the other thing we're playing around with is you may see a little bit of an AI presence in the group. So you have to be on your toes.
כאילו אחרי שאתה הורג את ה-AI, אז אתה הורג את הטימייט שלך.
We're going to get feedback today too, and like Joe said, we've been through some pretty wild iterations of the
כמה אנשים יהיה?
2v2 gulag.
Revealed here, but there's a lot in store.
There certainly is a lot in store. Jack, I have heard of a new concept coming to Warzone 2.0 called Strongholds. That will include AI that may impact how players get their weapons, etc. Can you clue me into what that's all about and if it's even true?
Absolutely. So strongholds are reinforced buildings that the AI is occupying inside Al-Mazrah in BR. And the players can choose whether or not they want to engage with them and assault them to get cool rewards, including free loadout items, which is one of the new ways that we're asking players to get their hands on their best weapon.
כן, אבל אתה יודע, לא משהו...
To bring in AI at scale into Warzone 2, and you're going to encounter them in multiple modes in different ways. In BR specifically, they're in these strongholds, and if you get to a stronghold, you can find the location of a black site, which is going to have even cooler stuff in it, and you can fight your way from one to the next. But in other modes, you're going to find the AI occupying a large portion of the map and just kind of protecting different POIs.
Okay, DMZ.
Okay, so we've all heard the rumors that Warzone 2.0 is going to have some very, very interesting new modes. Would you care to confirm or deny Stephanie Snowden?
It's fine. 2.0
is
confirmation that an all-new sandbox experience is coming at launch. I am happy to announce Call of Duty's extraction mode will arrive with Warzone 2.0 at launch later this year. I played DMZ for the very first time on my first day at IW, and to this day, playing it non-stop, the possibilities with this game mode blow my mind.
So DMZ. I can also confirm that DMZ is real. We're not going to go into depth on it today because we do have to keep some stuff in reserve. What I can tell you though is we've created a rich sandbox where you can define your own win condition. You infiltrate Al-Mazrah, you accomplish your goals, and then you decide to
מישהו אומר, מעתיקים גם את Battlefield וגם את Tarkov.
And the AI is occupying large sections of the map, and they are lethal opponents, and they do command your respect. You have to watch out for them. You have to work with your team. They patrol areas, they occupy strongholds, and they'll reinforce based on players' actions. And on top of all this, you can choose which mission you want to accomplish, or you can chase after a variety of activities. And you can play this differently depending on your playstyle. You can
לא, זה מוד אחר, זה לא...
יש לך עוד מוד שחק.
אוי, נו, אבל זה גם...
Or you could just decide, hey,
אבל אתה כן יכולים להרוג אותך אנשים אחרים.
מן הסתם, מה זאת אומרת?
It's totally up to player choice there.
לא שיחקתי,
I'm really excited about the full scale of what we're delivering for this chapter. And we want players to have an amazing experience in Warzone 2.0. We've been listening to the conversations in the community, specifically around small maps, ricochet, anti-cheat, ranked play, and beyond. And trust me, although we're touching on some of the core updates to the overall Warzone 2.0 experience today, and mostly focusing on BR, there will be more news to share over the coming months. This is only the beginning for Warzone 2.0.
Okay, I need Warzone 2.0 and DMZ in my life ASAP.
16 לנובמבר.
Warzone 2.0 will be free to play for everyone on November 16th. With the start of Season 1 across Modern Warfare 2. Mark your calendars, that's about 2 weeks.
אני ידעתי כבר שזה 16 לנובמבר.
And we had 125 million players in the original Warzone, and I cannot wait to see all of you and hopefully more of you in Al-Mazrah for this experience.
And you will have a chance to see a Warzone 2 Battle Royale Alpha playtest happening right here behind us very, very soon.
Yeah, the streamers are hot.
אבל זה הרבה יותר שונה, כי Warzone יוצר הרבה, כאילו, יותר צמוד למשחק. פעם שעברה זה היה חודשים.
פעם שעברה זה היה חצי שנה יותר אפילו.
כמעט חצי שנה.
I promise. Then after that, we have live gameplay.
עכשיו מובייל ואז
We've got Warzone 2.0, Battle Royale, we got Warzone Mobile. It's all happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go too far.
שאלה אם יהיה...
Call of Duty next. Brought to you by the GMC Hummer EV
כמה ספונסורים?
the world's first all-electric super truck. Intel, built for the next generation of gaming. Squad up sooner with Xfinity rewards. Get early access to Modern Warfare 2's open beta. Jack Links. Squad up with Sasquatch. Jack Links is good with it. Eureka Ergonomic, leading designer in gaming furniture and proud partner of Modern Warfare 2.
אתה יודע שמי שקונה פריודה מקבל חבילה של כל גורטים שהיה.
כן, אבל רק למודרן וופר, לא לזה. למודרן וופר 19, לא בחדש.
בטוח?
כן. אוי לא, אוי נו. זה רגע, זה מובייל, זה נכון?
נראה לי שזה מובייל.
כן, זה מובייל.
כן, כן, זה מובייל, זה מובייל. וואלה, אני לא יודע מה אני חושב על זה אפילו, אתה יודע? על הורזון מובייל.
זה יהיה 120 אנשים.
מה?
במובייל, כן.
נשחק בזה, כן, כמובן, אבל...
תקנה טלפון חדש. ורדנס כזווה.
אתה רוצה אייפון.
יו, אתה יודע, זה האמת מדהים לחשוב כמה התקדם מהמובייל גיימינג, כאילו. תראה,
זה נראה יותר טוב ממה שהם יראו עד עכשיו, אחי.
מובייל גיימינג, כאילו...
כן, הכל המובייל,
אפילו קוד מובייל, אני חייב להגיד.
אפקס, אחי, אפקס יצא, קוד מובייל.
גם עכשיו, קוד מובייל, כאילו, זה... באמת מרשים מה שזה התפתח ב10 שנים האחרונות. אבל זה לא יהיה אחד לאחד ורדנס, זה יהיה מקומות חדשים שהם וגם אקסקלוסיביים למובייל שלא היו.
ברור. ומעניין איך הגיימפליי, כאילו איך המשחק יוטי, אם זה יהיה כמו בקוד
רגיל או סבבה. בוא נראה, אולי הם מראים פה עכשיו. און מובייל.
אתה רואה און מובייל.
מתי זה יוצא?
70 שנה. מעכשיו.
What a jam-packed day we've had here so far. We got Warzone 2.0 and Modern Warfare 2 already good to go. But finally, we're hitting something new here, coming into mobile. We got Warzone Mobile 2 here.
Warzone Mobile 2.
It's me, Beat Mommy, and I couldn't be more excited
כבר יש מובייל, Warzone 2 מובייל.
What do you have for us today?
That's right. Today we are proud to introduce Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Yay. This is the real thing, and it's on your phone. For the first time ever, you can drop into Call of Duty Warzone from wherever life takes you. Let me quickly point out the gameplay you're seeing today is still off, so it's only going to get better.
כמעט כמו
Warzone fans, you will recognize this drop sequence right away.
I mean, honestly, it just
לא,
gives
אתה רואה
me
את היד,
so
אתה
much
רואה את
nostalgia, but wait a minute,
הרזולוציה, אבל כן, כן,
Chris,
זה
is that the
נראה
legendary
ממש טוב.
Verdansk?
You know, this is where Warzone gameplay was born, and we're bringing the legendary Verdansk map to mobile for the very first time.
רואים שזה, אבל...
כן, רואים שזה מובייל, אבל...
Dense urban areas. There's just so much
אין
fun to play
דיטייל
in.
כאילו
Wide
כזה, אבל
open fields, great
המטורף.
for battle. And intimate, close quarters, combat environments. There's so much variety in Verdansk. It's
וואי,
famous
זה
for
גרוע,
good
זה היה נראה
reason.
גרוע עכשיו.
Teaming with
אתה
fan
רימון.
favorite locations like
זה
Boneyard
יותר טוב.
and Superstore.
וואו.
Even TV station.
Well, I'm getting classic Call of Duty Warzone flashbacks here.
Oh my
Can
god,
you tell us more about the gameplay? Or, you know what, maybe just give me your phone real quick, maybe I can see for myself. No?
You know, the team has a passion for delivering the most authentic Call of Duty experience possible for mobile devices. From the way you aim and move to the weapon handling and the control responsiveness, all these critical little details combined to make
אני גם מאוד מקווה.
We made sure that the physics, the feedback, the sights and sounds, all those essential little touches are smooth and accurate.
אני מקווה שזה יתמוך, כי אתה לא, הבנתי שאתה לא מצליח, לא הצלחת להשתמש
לא צריך להגיד כלום.
אבל אני מקווה שהוורזון יתמוך בזה. אני די בטוח שכן, אבל בגלל שזה אנדרואיד לא בטוח. אתה יודע, יש מצב שאתה יכול לעשות פרי-רג'יסטר עכשיו. תבדוק.
לוורזון?
וורזון מובייל, כן, כי אתה באנדרואיד. לאייפון זה עדיין לא זמין.
וואו.
כן. חפש עכשיו לא רק בפלייסטור, חפש עכשיו בגוגל. חפש... יש זה, וואו, יש פינישר.
מן הסתם שיעשו פינישר, אבל...
לא, כי ב-BR של קוד מובייל אין...
תראה איך זה נראה. דווקא זה נראה בסדר.
Now, that contract economy, it adds a ton of depth and strategy through risk and reward.
I really like that you brought that up
אבל אני יכול להתערב איתך שיהיה מלא מוניטיזציה, מלא בונדל, מלא...
זה ברור.
יכול להיות שזה כמו קוד מובייל, האמת.
זה יותר מקוד מובייל.
Especially kill streaks. This means you can deploy your big stick of choice like, a precision airstrike. You might be able to wipe out your entire squad with it. So, not so fortunate for them, but they're not necessarily down for the count either because we have the gulag. So here players can fight for a second chance. So when you go down, you get to fight one-on-one with another down player, and you can earn your way back into battle. This is how Warzone Mobile plays out on a truly massive scale. Unlike anything we've ever played on mobile before. For this reason, we're pushing way past the envelope on high player counts to make sure each match is jam-packed with our signature style of combat. So we are supporting up to 120 live players in the single match.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say 120 players? Or do you mean bots? Because it seems like in Battle Royale games on mobile, they're usually loaded up with boring bots.
Well, we believe it's critically important and a lot more fun to play with real, live, human opponents.
אין מצב, אחי, זה רגיוני, נו, יהיה מלא בוטים.
So if anyone is tired of playing with nothing but bots, we hear you. We're talking up to 120 real players ready to hunt you down with real human skill.
אין מצב, אחי, 120 שחקנים אמיתיים ולא בוטים, נו.
And we hear you in the crowd. Everyone's excited and absolutely
איזה שרתים אתה צריך בשביל זה?
And I don't think there's a game on mobile that can top that. In terms of real player count, of course. But how are you able to even pull that off?
We can support real player counts at dramatically higher scale than we've ever seen in other Battle Royale games on mobile. Because Warzone Mobile is running on advanced, unified Call of Duty technology.
אתה יכול לקדם את הבטלפאס של Warzone מובייל ושל מודרן וורפר 2. נכון נגיד הבטלפאס עד עכשיו היה משולב, נגיד קולד וור, מודרן וורפר ואנקלאב, אז עכשיו זה יהיה ככה בוורזון 2.
So when you say more connected, does that mean that Warzone Mobile will share content and features that will be in the console and PC version of Warzone 2.0?
Exactly.
מה?
Delivering a deeply connected experience has been a strategic pillar from the beginning of development.
הנה, תראה. נגיד אתה רוצה לקדם את הבטלפאס ואתה לא בבית, אתה יכול לשחק
Warzone 2.0 and Warzone
אתה יכול לקדם את הבטלפאס שאתה לא...
אשכרה, גם למודרן וורפר 2.
כן, מודרן וורפר 2, וורזון 2 וורזון מובייל. הבטלפאס בכולם.
כן. וואו.
אז עכשיו אנחנו חייבים לשחק בזה. אבל תראה, הם יעשו שהבטלפאס יהיו 150 טירים.
לא אכפת לי מהטירים, אבל בטח יהיה עכשיו, כאילו בפלאפון אתה תקבל פחות 2. משחקים מאחורה. הם מחאו כפיים מאחורה.
You will see it on console or PC. It'll also be there on your mobile device too. And the other way around works as well.
I really love to hear that. And as a matter of fact, I saw some of the same weapons and operators being shown earlier today in Call of Duty Warzone 2.0.
אם זה אותו דבר, רני, מבחינת ה-XP של הבטל פאס, זה מטורף.
יכול להיות אבל שאתה צודק שזה לא יהיה אותו דבר.
לדעתי הקוד מובייל זה כאילו, מה הקוד, הוורזון מובייל?
רגע, אבל השאלה היא מה עם הסקינים?
עזוב סקינים, אבל לדעתי הטיים, כאילו, כי תגיד, במובייל יותר קל לנצח הרי מהרגיל, אתה מבין? אז אולי אתה תקבל פחות.
אנחנו נוכל לראות רק כזה.
אבל זה הגיוני בסך הכל, כן.
אבל כל זה היה ליקים, אני ידעתי את זה כבר. כל הדברים האלה שהם אומרים עכשיו.
The team is committed to ensuring Warzone Mobile is a world-class, mobile-first experience, right down to its core. Controls are a huge part of it. It just needs to feel natural on the device, intuitive, and native to the platform.
אתה יכול לשחק כאן?
A lot of it comes down to tuning. And this is why we are supporting synchronous crossplay between iOS and Android platforms exclusively on mobile. We're avoiding the imbalance that comes from cross-playing between mobile devices and consoles or mobile PC. This allows our teams to deliver the best possible mobile gameplay experience with a unified feel. And by doing this, we don't need to compromise the
לא הבנתי, אבל אם אני במחשב, אני יכול כרגע איתך דרך הפלאפון?
לא נראה לי. כאילו כשאני במובייל ואתה במחשב, נגיד, לא נראה לי.
Or maybe you're a console first player that's sneaking in an extra match during your lunch break. Even brand new players to the franchise who need a little help getting into the flow of the game. We are committed to providing the most robust control options anywhere for a pick up and play experience that's accessible to all of our players.
I love that accessibility, and that means all my friends can get in on the action for a change, but how do they sign up?
In the pre-register.
Well, it's time to get your mobile devices ready, because I'm super excited to announce that starting right now, you can pre-register for your free download in the Google Play Store.
Sign up.
Signing up means that you can be among the first to play when the game launches next year. We look forward to seeing everyone in Call of Duty Warzone Mobile.
With that being said,
hey, we got Ferg on the horn, and I think he's literally the first one to pre-reg.
Warzone Mobile.
Hey guys, it's Ferg here, and I am thrilled to be one of the first to pre-register for Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. And now you can too. Scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen.
Tell your friends.
To drop. Tell your friends. Because the more pre-registrations we drive, the more rewards we can earn. Like special weapons, vinyls, and emblems. Plus, if we reach the top milestone of 25 million pre-registers, we're going to unlock a super cool secret reward. You're not going to what are you waiting for? Sign up using the QR code below.
האמת שאני בספק אם יהיה זומבים, אם יהיה כאילו את ה-Call of Duty הבאים. אני מקווה מאוד. יש מצב שזה ייגמר עוד מעט.
We are back. It's Miles here, joined by Maven, Alicat, and Nameless Studio. What? Oh, guys, the adults have left us alone on the desk, and now it's our time to have some fun. I don't know about you guys, but okay, it's been a pretty litty day so far.
Yeah.
Where do we even start? I mean, dude, mobile, bro. It's a new era of Call of Duty.
Listen, Miles, I've been addicted to Call of Duty for over a decade. You're telling me I can be in the airport playing Warzone now? Back in Verdansk? That's lit. Also, Al Mazrah looks absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's insane. There's no shortage of crazy stuff coming my way. Ali, I mean, lay it on me. Multiplayer for Warzone, for Modern Warfare 2, insane.
It's incredible. We actually got to load up with some of the players yesterday in a little bit of a pre-test, and loading into Gunsmith 2.0 was actually so aesthetically pleasing, and I think everybody at home, once they also get their hands on it, they're going to love it just as much as we do here.
Truly. Maven, my good friend, you've played more Warzone than most people on the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, 8 hours a day for years it feels like. It just seems fresh, man. The map, like everything about it, triple circles, the water, the boats. I mean, I was like kind of the proximity mine king for a while there, placing them under vehicles, trying to blow them up and set booby traps. And now you're telling me I could do them in not only land, but also the sea. I'm with it.
It's going to be something, man. We really have seen a lot so far today. We've seen mobile course multiplayer there, and a bit of Warzone 2.0.
היה multiplayer בהתחלה.
But guys, it's time to get into this. Let's now get into the command center. This is it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the command center, presented by Xfinity Rewards.
כולם עושים את האורחים את הקלאס.
Xfinity customers, they can start playing Modern Warfare 2 sooner with Xfinity Rewards. Visit xfinity.com/rewards to get your code for early access to the open beta. It's free and it's easy to join. Guys, I mean, every time I sit down, like, I take a breather, I'm like, there's so much. But first and foremost, guys, before we get into this one, there's so many streamers here. We need to give a big shout out to Intel, who's powering all of the streaming PCs. Massive shout out to those guys. Clint, there are 2 PCs on every desk.
I couldn't believe it. Cloxy is here. Like, the fact that he actually made the trip out, I figured they have to have something special. The fact that you have a dedicated PC to the streaming side and to the gameplay side, and it's set up for this many people.
בכל שולחן שם יש 2 מחשבים, אחד לסטרימינג, אחד לגיימפליי.
We're actually almost ready to get into the gameplay, guys. We teased it a little.
Yeah, just a little.
A little.
המחשבי על, אחי.
I'm getting mocked here. We got to play a tiny bit yesterday.
Yes.
Pretty fun, but now we get to
תראה כל העולם ירוק, אחי, איזה מטורף זה נודר.
Quite literally from almost every part of the planet. Coming together here.
אני מקווה שמישהו יעשה קילסטריק מטורף, אחי, שיקרה קצת דברים. הנה, זה נינג'ה כבר בפנים, נינג'ה בפנים.
Not even everybody had shown up yet, so now that we have a full building of all of these creators, all of these PCs, I'm expecting people to get up and
גדול, הנה, עוזרים להם להתחבר, אתה רואה את הטים? חברים אותם לזה עכשיו, אתה רואה, בדיוק רואה את זה עם נינג'ה.
My boy Tyler Blevins here as well, but like I think this is a testament to how pumped up everyone gets about Call of Duty every year. Like the fact that there are this many big name streamers in attendance, we're going to see some incredible gameplay, go through the various modes. I mean, this is going to be a real treat. It really is.
I mean, and you've been around a long time in the Call of Duty world. In this venue right now, we've got streamers and players from, you know, all across North America, South America. We've got players all over Europe, Japan, Australia, you name them. We are all over here. Mobile players everywhere. How do you describe the vibe in the room?
כולם רצים ועוזרים להם. הנה, הם התחילו. לא, הנה, הם התחילו.
They're going hard, right? Like I was talking to some of the Warzone guys, Repos. He's like, I'm here to fry. Zuma's ready to go. So I'm interested to see them with these new weapons and the gunsmith, what they come up with, especially our new game modes like Prisoner. It's gonna be lit.
אתה יכול אשכרה להחליף, יו, אחי, אתה יכול להחליף ידיים.
They're also here because they want that banger clip. Like everybody wants, like you know, like you're trying to go out and fry some of these big names, get a clip out on social, your YouTube, whatever it's going to be. So yeah, I'm sure people are going hard in the paint or falling to their death.
ידעתי שזה נראה ממש כמו אחד.
We'll go a little bit of that later on. I think we're actually ready to hop into gameplay. Dr. Lupo, one of our first here, and he's already down and out, but we are playing
זה נראה בדיוק כמו אחד כזה.
on Mercado, nameless.
Yeah, you know, I didn't get to play this map yesterday, but one thing I just want to point out with this game is it's a lot more vibrant than some of the MW games that we've had in the past. There's so many more colors. That's something that I always enjoy, especially with silence when it's more vibrant and you can see more on the map.
Oh, Dead Silence is field upgrade.
It's like you have like your more realism, like your grays and browns. Some will have more color. Like this map in particular, yeah. The second we saw like the fly through of this, I mean, it just looks gorgeous. It really does. And I'm not that I had any concerns about the visuals. It's just aesthetically pleasing. It is.
כן. אצל נינג'ה רואים את זה הרבה יותר טוב.
You can watch him stream this.
אולי העמדה שלו לא משהו.
וואי, אבל הם 4, מה זה הריקויל הזה, אחי, של הישמור? משחק... יש לנו דיסטרויד.
It's not that slide cancel. You got to slide. The dive mechanic, it plays out so much different when you're going into a gunfight. You can dive out of the window. Miles, it was a lot more into the mix.
We were to get into the mix now on air in front of God knows how many people, but last night Ninja wasn't in the venue. I played on his server, and I found there was an in-game like whisper feature. So I was sending messages to other creators. As Ninja, horrendous, man. Horrendous trash talk. All very good-natured friends of mine, you know, but...
מה זה מטורף? אתה יכול להעביר ידיים, ראית את זה, אחי?
לא.
יכול להחליף ידיים. אם אתה נגיד, עכשיו נכון הוא הנשק בשמאל, הוא יכול להעביר את זה לימין. הפוך.
I actually got into a game against you specifically. I was on, I believe,
יו, זה נראה כמו הפליפ קומנדו.
that he's here today, but I was getting disrespectful with some people on the map, and I believe that you were in my last game, and the second I killed you, you left.
לא יודע איזה סטרים אתה רואה, אבל... לא רואה שהם מחליפים.
That was Ninja. Over to Courage now, who's having a good time.
בוא'נה, איך הם מתעצבנים? נו באמת. רגע, הם משחקים...
כל הסטרימרים משחקים נגד אחד נגד השני.
הם משחקים S&D?
יש כאלה שמשחקים S&D, יש כאלה שמשחקים אאוטפוינט. תלוי מאץ'.
Raging passion. And look, it's me on the right hand side.
מה זה?
כן, נו, אתה רואה?
הוא נקלע מהקיר. רגע, מה זה? מה הוא רואה?
לא יודע, אבל אתה רואה, הוא גם אמר כמה פתאום.
מה, הוא בקילטי? מה, בג'אגר? כי ראו אותו כאילו כזה... יש לו איזה קסדה.
כן.
וואי וואי, איך הם כאילו... Knockout. Fight to capture cash located in the middle of the map. The first team to take 5 rounds wins the
and it just had this insane level of like it's like realism, but like it just looks so exciting to watch. And when you're, you know, enjoying like.
זה הרבה יותר טוב ממה שהראו בוונגרד. בוונגרד היה כזה.
And sorry, this is the new knockout mode. I don't think you might not know what this means.
I haven't seen this one. I haven't played it yet. No. I mostly.
איך אני צונן להתעלה לקירות, אחי, זה המשימה שאני אני מתוסכל מן הרצח. לך תהרוג ככה 200 איש. לא סובל את זה.
למה? אתה רוצה
בשביל גול. כן, בטח.
הנה, מה זה? איך הוא רואה? תראה את זה.
אתה רואה? זה מה שאמרתי לך, פתאום הוא מעביר את הזה ימין, שמאל.
מה זה ה...
לא יודע, לא הבנתי את זה.
קסדה או משהו?
הבנתי, הוא רואה את זה כאילו דרך הקסדה?
אבל מה זה הקסדה הזאת? מה זה...
נראה לי זה הקסדה של השחקן, כאילו כמו שאתה מת, לא יודע. יואו, מה זה הנשק הזה?
זה בגלל... אולי זה בגלל הבטא, שזה ירוק כזה, משהו כמו מקווה.
I think it's amazing though. I mean, when we jumped into Modern Warfare in 2019, when they introduced the gunsmith, it was a lot to take in, but now everybody's familiar with it, especially grinding Warzone.
וואי, דאבלקי נראה מגניב, ראית?
And it's just a better version of that.
אני לא יודע מה אתה רואה, אתה רואה
אני רואה את הסטרים הרגיל עכשיו.
You can switch out all the different attachments and, you know,
הוא עושה עכשיו דאבלקי, וזה היה נראה כזה, זה היה רשום כזה דאבלקי בצורה מגניבה.
אתה רואה שיש לו כאילו את הנשק האדום הזה,
כן, כן. עכשיו הוא החליף לאקדח. מעניין כמה זמן לוקח להגיע לרמה 30 פה. הולך להגיע לרמה 30?
לא יודע, הריוורד של הבטא לא נראה משהו, לא כל כך אכפת לי.
הבטל פאס, אם אתה קונה את זה, אתה כאילו...
נקנה, אבל נגיד, לא אכפת לי ממש מהריוורד של הבטא, כי אתה יודע, הם התחילו להיות מסקינים ובנדלים, בסוף זה לא יהיה רלוונטי.
כן, אבל זה תמיד כזה, אתה יודע, ריוורד כזה, היה לי את הבטא, אתה מבין? זה כאילו, כי אפשר להשיג את זה אחרי זה.
אין לי פומו יותר.
Like the new ledge, how you can jump and then you can hang off the side of the ledge, that's a new thing that you can add into this game. You can jump from rooftop to rooftop, and like you can jump further than you think, and I found that out very quickly. Like I would get to the edge of a rooftop, and I was like, I wonder if I can make this jump. You can make the jump.
הנה, שוב רואים מי זה. למה יש לו קסדה?
כשאתה מת, אז במקום כמו שעד עכשיו היית רגיל לראות את האנשים, אז אתה רואה ככה.
רגע, זה ספקטייט?
כן, כן, זה ספקטייט, כן, בטח.
לא, אין, אתה רואה זה ספקטייט.
I heard Pomage too. Like I stepped up.
Wait, נכון, זה ספקטייט גם.
He was first walking in. He was walking with irrational to people, and he was like, "I'm going hard, bro." Oh yeah. He's like, "I'm going hard."
זה כאילו הבנתי שהוא גם מחזיק את הנשק ביד שמאל, אבל רואים אותו דרך קסדה או משהו, זה כאילו שאתה באיזה ג'אגרנוט. מה זה? רואים שמישהו משחק בוורזון?
לא, נכון. זה מובייל גיימינג.
אתה רואה את הדבר הזה שיש לו על האצבעות?
כן, כן.
זה משהו שאתה יכול לקנות של רייזר, זה כזה מטומטם. זה פאקינג גיימינג פינגר.
כאילו שלא תזיע?
גיימינג, שאתה שם את זה על האצבע, זה כל כך מטומטם. אתה יודע אבל מה אני חושב שיכול להיות? יכול להיות שבאמולטור הזה שאפשר לשחק קוד מובייל, אז אתה תוכל לשחק את הוורזון מובייל, ואז
מקווה.
כן, אבל אז זה סוג של כזה, זה לא בדיוק לרמות, כן, אבל פשוט שהם לא ישימו את זה באמולטור.
וואי, משהו עשה גם את זה.
There are some movement mechanics for you speed demons out there if you want to make some plays.
Yeah, there's a lot of talks about, you know, the way slide
works now. אתה ראית מישהו עושה דולפין דייב?
The dive itself, I mean, it's a really fun mechanic. It's fast. We get to see some gameplay with it. I've actually been walking around talking to some of the sort of the CDL pros, like, hey guys, try to stop sliding, try to dive.
Show us the dive.
Come on, butters. Show us the dive.
Showed us the slide, now we're looking for the
right out the window. Just dive out the window. Send it.
לעשות דייב, אני רוצה לראות את הדייב.
That's the way the game is.
That's what Joe was gonna say, right? Like they've seen it so much in playtest. He goes into a window, like everyone.
מה זה? What the fuck?
So you think like all the exciting moments you're gonna have.
הנה, יש את הדייב.
Sniping there. That's the hurricane, the M4 platforms, and the sniping on the side. And we have
the mechanic. Look.
There we go, testing things out, trying to find the sneakiest, fastest way across the map.
Yo, dolphin dive.
אם היה זומבים היית יכול להרוג אותי.
That works out. Yeah, look at her face. She's just like going around, testing out the movement. Someone just runs right in front of her. That works out. Give me a freebie.
You know what I'm noticing on this map that I actually like a lot? Not as many
Modern
doors.
Warfare.
Not as many doors. I think in general is the overall vibe. I mean, most of the maps we've seen so far quite small, very fast-paced. Again, just talking about that, you've got a very distinct feel. So it's like the battle map is very large, way more intense action. Of course, there's like evasion stuff.
למה סנייפר?
סנייפר נראה קצת מוזר האמת, כן, יש לו איזה...
זה בגלל הגאנסמית, אבל הולי שיט, למה אתה יכול להפוך אותו? מה זה? דיים. בוא'נה, מה זה הרילוד הזה? תראה איך כאילו מלמעלה.
רק כמו ה-PT... פיפי.
לא פיפי, הפין פיפי.
בדיוק.
PTW. לא PTW, כן.
לא, PT 90, כן.
לא, PP 19.
הממשק שאתה לוחץ סטאב, הוא מזכיר לי את ה-Advanced Warfare, אתה יודע? אבל תראה את זה, אחי.
נכון, רגע, מדברים על הפרקים.
הריקויל, סטיחי. שים לב לריקויל, רני.
What the fuck?
Ultimate perk as well, so it's actually it's completely new. They've redone it, and it's gonna be sweet.
Well, the reason I think I haven't really played it yet to deal with it too much to see like how vastly different it makes the gameplay. But I know for a lot of us, when you're playing the game, those are your perks. Now it's like
למה הם נשמעים ככה? אני מקווה שזה רק בגלל הסטרים, שכל הנשקים נשמעים מוזרים ככה. אני מעוניין בגאנסמי.
לראות את ה-DMZ.
הם אמרו שיהיה גיימפליי?
לא.
לא
נראה לי...
לא בטוח.
זה הכל הרובוטי זה שעכשיו.
כן.
תראה איזה מטורף זה נראה אחי, כולם נראים סוף סוף חיילים וזה, זה מה שאני אוהב בכל דיוטי בהתחלה שלו. כי אחרי חצי שנה זה נראה כמו פורטנייט אחי. כולה, חד קרן,
זה רק יהיה בהתחלה.
כן, חד קרן, דברים כאלה, לא סובל את זה, אני אוהב את זה ככה.
נראה לי יש להם בעיה בסאונד.
יש מצב, כן, מישהו נשמע רובוטי, רובוט כזה. איזה מחשבים אחי, תראה, אוי, אבל האוזניות מגניבות אחי.
בוא'נה, אתה מבין מה אתה צריך כדי להיות סטרימר? הנה, תראה, זה מי זה...
That's what you're watching?
כזה, זה שוב זה...
Yes, it might be. It might
be.
It's Brooke's TikTok, you know, she's very
זה נראה כאילו יש לך... שאתה בג'אגרנוט, אבל... לא, אין מצב שהוא בג'אגרנוט.
לא, אבל אתה רואה, הוא יכול להעביר, אתה רואה, תסתכל, הוא יכול להעביר שחקן אחי. זה ב... אולי זה רק במוד מסוים, כאילו אולי זה רק בטיב דמץ', אולי זה רק באיזה.
אבל לא, זה כן ספקטייט, אבל אני לא מבין למה רואים את זה ככה. כתוב ספקטייטים. אתה קולט שכל דור יצא לפני כמעט שנתיים?
So this is probably one of my favorite maps that we are playing right now in the beta testing, and as you can see, everybody is having so much fun on it. I mean, 4 and 5, everybody's doing pretty okay. It's a close game. Aiden has 14 kills. I just saw the kill board. He's on the other team.
Aiden just realized he's on the
SND, אני לא אוהב SND.
He's going in.
Oh, he's fully loaded. Look at the bottom. He's got all his perks.
בוא'נה, לא אכפת להם, פשוט הולכים...
אני דווקא אוהב, אני אוהב בסרטן דיסטרויד, ראי שיש דאבל XP. כי אתה על כל קיל אתה מקבל איזה 2,000 נקודות אחי.
אני לא אוהב...
That thing turns that turns people into super
קלאסי, טים דאט'מאץ', הארד פוינט.
לא, אתה זוכר את המוד הזה בוונגארד שזה כמו וורזון?
אני לא רוצה, לא זוכר שום דבר וונגארד.
זה היה אחלה מאוד אחי.
אני אומר לך, כאילו, ביום הראשון כבר עשיתי אניסטור.
זה היה אחלה מאוד אבל.
לא רוצה לדבר על המשחק הזה, אני רוצה לשכוח.
אני נהניתי ממנו רצח. שלוש ארבע. אז אחי, אני פה.
נראה לי שזה הגיים צ'אט שלהם.
מסי. למה ככה אתה מקלל? למה? ככה לא.
מי זה? אני לא מכיר את חצי מהאנשים פה. חצי מהסטרימרים פה כאילו.
מה ליאור, היה משחק היום?
לא, זה כמו מודרנית 19, כל הפאקינג... כל DDoS available. No, the EMP.
EMP לקרוב ינטו?
create that sort of visual. Look, you want the game to be as appealing as possible for you. Maybe you don't want the gun to be so to obscure the view. Maybe you're one of those players that...
There is option to tweak it how I walk, right?
There's a lot of settings in this game.
I'm gonna get lost in that for the entire first day, probably.
Once campaign hits, I'll spend about 3.5 hours messing with settings.
הוא בגיל סטריק של 5 היה רשום מקודם. מה, הוא חיה בכל פדיט, אחי, אתה יודע מזה.
רגע, סוף סוף יש תאריך יציאה לזה?
Yeah, this sub looks like
שמע, הוא טוב ברמות.
פלייסטיישן פובלישר.
I wish everyone could experience
סוף סוף יש תאריך יציאה ל-Uncharted Legacy of Thieves למחשב, זה 19 לאוקטובר, עוד חודש.
יפה, עוד קקתי לכולם.
I know Iceman and Isaac, we have interacted so many times on social. I've never met him in person, dude. We hugged for a solid 30 seconds. It was beautiful.
טוב, זה עוד משחק שאני צריך לקנות עכשיו.
יש אותו כבר בסטים לקנות?
עכשיו, כן, ממש עכשיו. עד עכשיו לא היה תאריך יציאה בכלל. זה היה צריך לצאת בתחילת השנה.
יפה, הקדימו קצת.
השנה, לא שנה הבאה.
כן, הבנתי, השנה. עוד חודשיים תחילת שנה, מה?
Individual streamers seeing them going through weapon loadout, seeing the upgrades there. So many cool changes, a lot more of a streamlined experience. It's sexy.
תגיד, אמרתי לך שאני עוד מעט עובר למשרה מלאה?
לא. וואלה, יפה, למה לא? אותו מקום?
אותו מקום, כאילו זה לא יהיה אותו... זה יהיה עם אנשים אחרים לצערי. אבל סוף סוף כאילו, השכר שלי יעלה...
כן, משמעותי, ברור.
לפחות פי 3 פי 4 ממה שאני משאיר.
וואו, אחי, זה מטורף.
כאילו, תראה, זה עדיין לא... זה אמור להיות בין... משהו 11-12 אלף.
מטורף, אחי, זה מצוין.
לא, כן, לא מתלונן, כן?
רגע, במה העבודה?
זה נקרא, זה משרד תפעול, זה נקרא.
לא, אבל מה אתה עושה, מחשבים?
תפעול. כאילו, גם אני לא יכול להגיד יותר מדי...
זה מסווג?
לא בדיוק, אבל כאילו חלק מהדברים פשוט לא יכול להגיד, אז קשה לי קצת להגיד מה זה.
זה משהו מחשבים? משהו שאתה לומד אבל? כאילו שלמדת? מהתואר?
אני לא יודע אם אני יכול להגיד, כאילו זה לא... זה כאילו, בוא נגיד, יש הרבה כאילו תהליכים שצריך לפקח עליהם, והרבה דברים שצריך לעקוב אחריהם, אתה כל הזמן, אתה יודע, אתה צריך להציג לנו, אתה צריך לטפל בכל מיני דברים, כאילו...
זה עכשיו הייטק?
זה לא הייטק. נגיד, זה לא תוכנה או משהו, זה טיפול, נקרא, משרד טיפול.
Look at Chef Tony.
אבל חיכיתי לזה הרבה זמן, סוף סוף. גם איזה 3-4 בחודש, שזה כלום.
ברור שזה... תקבל עכשיו כפול 3, כפול 4, זה מטורף, כן. אתה גם תרגיש את זה, אתה תרצה לקנות משהו, אתה כזה, יופי, סבבה.
כן, גם לי. זה הם גרים מההורים.
כן.
אני עדיין לא צריך לדאוג
בדיוק. עכשיו פתאום יהיה לך סקין שנראה יפה, שעד עכשיו התלבטת אם לקנות או לקנות, פתאום אתה תקנה, כי אתה פיזית יכול.
כן, יכול אולי אני אפילו אשדרג את המחשב, אבל אין לי למה לשדרג כל כך.
וואי אחי, זה אשכרה קיל אחרון.
בוא, אתה יודע אבל איזה מעצבן זה, אני הסתכלתי ב-KSP לא מזמן, אתה יודע כמה 3080 Ti עולה עכשיו? 4,500. כמה קניתי את שלי שזה?
אני זוכר, 6 ומשהו.
6,000. לפני שנה בערך.
You saw Zenny, you saw Crowder, for those who don't know, they work on the CDL side, they're really in the midst of stuff. They don't get to come to stuff like this that often and see all these content creators. I imagine they're in heaven. I've seen some of the tweets, just having a blast meeting a lot of different people.
So as far as streaks goes, we haven't seen a whole lot. Obviously, Cruise Missiles there, Counter UAV, a classic, VTOL is going to be back. Everything. I mean, the Juggernaut is I think it's the final one.
אבל סוף סוף...
סמק, למה לא עושה לו פיניש?
סוף סוף אין פה... נמאס לי כבר, אתה יודע, לראות גיימפלי של World War 2 וכל הנשקים הישנים. בוא'נה, אתה ראית את מי הם החזירו שאין לי מושג למה ומאיפה הם הוציאו את זה, הוציאו מהתחת את ראול מננדז, את סרף מבלק-אופס 3.
בוא נראה אותה, שמע, אם אתה עושה פריאורדר, אתה יודע, אתה יכול לשחק שבוע לפני כולם בקמפיין.
וואו, לפני כולם, כאילו בקמפיין, בסדר.
יפה, אבל אף פעם הם לא עשו את זה, אחי, מה?
וואט? איזה ריקוויל.
זה בדיוק אותו דבר.
כן, הפנק...
וואו, מה זה ריקוויל הזה? לא, אחי, מה זה שלשול, אחי?
הולי.
מה זה הדבר הזה, אחי?
מה זה, אתה עף?
יואו, אחי, זה לא נורמלי. אחי, אתה יורה בו, אתה צריך להגיד את העבר שלך למטה, אחי, וואט דה פאק. מה קורה פה? וואט? טוב כפרה, בטון.
אתה יודע מה מעניין אותי אם יש את הקילו.
הקילו, כן. זה סוג של קילו.
זה לא... יש מצב שיוציא אותו כזה באחת הסיום. אני מת על הקילו.
תראה, אם מרססת תראה איך היא מעיפה את היד למטה, אחי. תגל את היד שלה, היא מטיסה אותה למטה. אתה רואה?
זה לא הוא, נראה לי מישהו עם שיער ארוך.
וואי, תראה איזה... איך...
נראה לי יש לנו קצת דילי. אוקיי, זה היה... יואו, מי זה? אבל 14?
מה זה הנשק המטורף הזה, אחי?
זה M4 נראה לי, אבל אתה עם... זה סטאפ כלשהו של הטאטמן. 15.
I'd be that guy on the team too. I'd be carrying. Yeah.
It was great. It was really great. We had a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool, the opening breaks and stuff like that.
He's on a 15. He's on 15 in a row. Another cruise coming in. Bang.
This is the Elgato replay of how this all started.
What?
Oh, he gets 2 again. Just ripping them.
It's the same 2 people.
כמה קילס טרי.
Oh, is it? I was going to say, he was on 15 in a row. I thought he got another one. I thought he wrapped his streaks.
It's all good.
Oh, dude, I basically just pulled a symphony, dude, when he was casting the game lobby.
Oh, and it was a good.
I thought he earned another one.
זה יעשה ניוק.
Well, last thing I saw was the
Redman.
Oh, so it's M4. His just sounds crazy. I think it's the W audio.
It might be a stream, but either way, it's a stream.
מה זה הנשק הזה, אחי? זה כמו מג, אחי, מיני מג.
דאם.
What the fuck?
יכול להיות שהוא כבר יודע את הסטאפ טוב. יש לו סטאפ טוב.
הוולד שלו רשום.
19?
הוא אמר עכשיו שהוא בקילסטריק של 20?
עכשיו הוא על 20, תסתכל על המסך.
אוריק, דבר פחד.
נו, מתקמפר, שמישהו ילך להרוג אותו.
טוב, עוד 4 זה ניוק, אחי, לא?
זה לא 30?
לא, זה 25.
ניוק בסטרים.
בהלם.
איזה קמפר. מישהו בא מאחורה. נראה לי. בוא'נה, הם לא שמים לב.
הנה מישהו בא מאחורה, נראה לי עומד עכשיו.
לא, הוא בקיר. לא. הוא ממש לא רוצה למות. עוד אחד. לא, איפה הוא? למה העברתם? אפשר לראות בפיד,
איזה פגרים לא מעבירים דבר כזה. משהו, כאילו אם הוא קיבל ניוק או לא?
בוא נראה, כן, אל תענוג.
איך קראו לו?
ברדמן, הוא עשה עוד הרגע אחרי ש... בוא נראה אם יש נוק. נראה לי הם עוברים לראות שהם לא עושים צ'יטים. איפה הנוק? ראית איך מה הוא חשב לעצמו? כמה זמן לקח לו ADS?
ג'ו, שמע, הסנייפר לוקח לו 2 לכוון פה, מה זה?
כן, עד שהוא כיוון כבר יצא כל עובדי הבא.
וואי, למה זה קורס לי כל הזמן?
אבל איפה הניוק? אין ניוק?
של ביטרייט.
אולי בבטא אין ניוק.
לא, בבטא יש ניוק, אחי, אני זוכר, גם בקודם היה.
אבל הוא לא עשה ניוק, הוא עלה, ראית, הוא הגיע ל-25. הנה, הוא עדיין הורג.
אז אולי זה ב-30, אחי, כמו שאתה אומר.
אולי זה 30. יכול להיות שהוא, אני לא יודע אם הוא עכשיו על 29, טריפל קיל. נו, חייב להיות לו את הניוק עכשיו. אוי, לא הרגו אותו!
אין לו ניוק.
אני לא יודע אם יש לו ניוק.
שמע, אחי, אם זה קורה, זה מטורף, כאילו.
ניוק בבטא? נראה לי, אתה יודע, נראה לי אף פעם לא השגתי ניוק, אף פעם לא מספיק. גם לסנייפר הזה יש ריקול מטורף.
I'm already really liking the sounds of these guns. I'm liking the way the crosshairs look. Like, this is something I cannot wait to get. Oh, hello!
Breadman just got a 3-piece, and then Isaac followed up with the 4th in the feed. That was very satisfying.
Oh, yeah. They are just tearing them apart, it feels like.
What's that field upgrade he has there? I can't tell from this.
That could be the portable radar.
That might be.
Yo.
So that little bad boy kind of gives you sort of a local sort of UAV, but the radius isn't obviously great, but...
מה הוא היה יכול להרוג אותם מזמן?
Dude, look at that bullet hit, just hit like right on the panel of the window, so the first shot didn't hit. Second one, that would go through.
I was using this yesterday, it's a powerful shot. Got a couple collabs.
מה? ראית את זה עכשיו? מישהו בא לעשות באשכרה פיניש.
Nick Merckx was trying to assassinate.
כן, זה חבר שלו הרג אותו.
Get us out of there. Over the crowd.
Here's the Fennec. You run so quick on this thing.
וואי, אחלה נשק, אני אוהב את זה דווקא.
זה הפנק. אני לא אוהב אותו. אבל הוא יורה fast as fuck.
הוא יורה מהר מדי.
Maybe not play style, kind of like player attributes here, what you're going for. Crowder is obviously, he's way more aggressive, you know. He might be hitting flank soon, but the way he's kicked himself out.
וואי, אחי, זה פלש.
He's in the mix.
I think something that you could learn a lot, that all these creators are going to learn very quickly, is there a lot more paths on the map than you know about. Like, on this one specifically, behind Crowder, there's an underground passageway where one of the flags are, and like, I didn't even know you could go down there. Like, I had to wrap the entire building before I figured out how to get there's a lot more angles and a lot more passageways, and I think a lot of these creators are expecting. That's why we're going to see possibly a lot more assassinations, possibly a lot more credit corners, and people just popping out of literally nowhere.
Crowder is locked in.
Oof.
And that is the power of the Fennec. That player didn't stand a chance.
The power of Fennec.
It's like going out, getting peaks, range combat. It's a lot of fun to use.
למה הם לא לוקחים את האובג'קטיב? קחו את בי.
כן, ראית A, B ו-C?
לא, הבן אדם הזה עכשיו, הוא שמה, והוא לא...
כמה שעה, כי הוא לא לוקח כלום.
I don't think it was going too crazy with any of the kill streak choices. We did see Crim 6
הוא עושה ספון שם קודם, והוא לא לוקח את זה.
נראה לי שזה הספון שלהם.
I wonder if we're going to see any more today.
What the fuck, למה הוא לא החליף לאקדח?
I can imagine, I mean, this is a chance to test everything, run through, try different weapons. I mean, as much as I say that, we know how a lot of these people are. They're going for crazy clips. They want to drop bombs. They want to have high kill games. So some are going to find stuff they like, little combination they feel comfortable with, and they're going to send it. But Crowder, yeah, he's in the mix right now. Movement, he seems pretty comfortable so far. Just
little
hop chows. Yeah, the bunny hop. Freebies. Like you're just hopping around. You can even hip fire this one. He's picking up a ton. He switched it up from last time.
So one of the big things, I mean, before the show started, I walked around and talked to as many of the streamers as I possibly could, and I was just like, you know, you've had a tiny bit of time with the game, how you feeling about this? And almost every single one said, I'm really struggling not to slide everywhere. They've been so used to doing that.
אומרים מנסים כמה שפחות לעשות סליידים.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
I can say that just from all the wars that I've played, like, it's gonna take like my hand, just the muscle memory of it. Like I'm just so, I've been slide canceling now for years across the map. It's just gonna take a little to get used to, 100%. Yeah, but I do think my hands are going to be very happy, though. I'm not having to do that constantly across the map.
Yeah, if you try to slide around now, you might even be slower than just sprinting.
Honestly, yeah. That's how it looks.
Again, it's how you use it. The dive is a really great mechanic.
באמת שזה ממש מגניב שיש גם סליידים וגם...
I like to leave in my head, you know, the ball head. So I think the diving thing's going to be good for me. Just like a bowling ball, you know, Miles? Just sending it through a door, sitting it through a window.
בטח, הדולבין זה פעם אחת אתה לוקד והסלייד זה ארוך.
יכול להיות שהם עשו כפתורים נפרדים.
Okay, that sounds sick though. Honestly, if the devs are listening, let's think about that a little bit.
אחרי הלייב אני מוריד את זה לסוני.
Oh my god, I want that immediately.
I'm thinking like, you know, I've got this idea of like, you know, he's got a big fin on his head.
אחרי הלייב זה כל מי שהזמין בסוני יכול לשחק.
רגע, מתי האופן? אבל אתה, רגע, אתה קונה במחשב, לא?
כן, אבל אני בשביל... ברור, בשביל התרומות, מה? כי תחשוב שזה מסתכרן למחשב. מה זה?
גם בפלייסטיישן וגם...
לא, אחי. הקלוז בטא זה מתחיל מהיום למי שקנה עד ל-18.
לא, יש פרי-אורדר בטא ויש אופן בטא.
נכון, האופן זה ב-18 לסוני, אז אני יכול לשחק עם זה ואז שיהיה לי יותר מהר את הרמות עד שזה יצא למחשב. זה מה שאני עושה תמיד, אחי. אני מגיע לאיזה רמה 20, 25, ואז את ה5 רמות האחרונות אני משחק במחשב, אתה מבין? כי זה מחפת לי, זה קאסטום, זה קרוספליי, אז כאילו. אם אני יכול לשחק את זה כמה ימים לפני, אתה יודע. כי לך תדע אם אני ב-23 נוסע לאילת, אז אני לא יודע אם יספיק. כאילו יהיה לי איזה 20 שעות רק לשחק. כן?
אוקיי. שאלה אם אחרי זה יש עוד משהו.
רגע, אוקיי. בשלישי, בוא נאמן מניו, נראה סבבה, הוא נראה טוב.
Miles, that's right, I am right here with Zuma, Tommy Properado himself. So, I mean, you have now had your first taste of Modern Warfare 2 here at COD Next. What did you think?
Oh, it's incredible. The game feels super smooth. The gunplay is awesome. I like the time to kill, and the maps are dope. A lot of close quarter gunfights, and you know, I've been having a blast, man. The chat's loving it as well. They're loving it.
So there's so much to talk about, you know, new modes, new maps, changes to the gunsmith. But what really stands out to you? Like, what are you excited about?
I'm really excited just to get the competition going. I mean, I'm excited for the CDO, and I heard them talking about ranked play, so you know, I'm really excited for that. And Warzone 2 looked incredible as well. I was talking to Repulse. We're gonna be the Warzone duo this year, so I'll be bouncing around between the both. But I'm just excited for something new.
תראה איזה מטורף, זה הכל ירוק, אחי, זה שמע, זה פסיכי רצח.
So many amazing creators here. And just thank you to everybody and thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's awesome.
And then, you know, real quick with Modern Warfare 2 on the horizon, what does the year ahead look like for you?
Man, just a lot of shows, man, a lot of
אתה יודע, עוד
flames, a lot of
50 יום
streams.
יוצא אגד
The
הפור.
content's gonna be pushing all year, so excited, man.
כן, אבל האמת שכאילו יש לנו פלייסטיישן 5.
All right, well, thank you so much. That is all
אז אתה
from me
יכול
for now.
לשחק
I
איתי
believe
גם
I'm handing off to my
ב-18 אם
dear
תרצה.
friend Lottie.
האמת כן, אבל רגע, זה היה 18, זה יום ראשון, לא?
לא יודע. אני שבת, לא?
שבת זה עוד יומיים.
ב-15.
אז אולי רק בערב.
כן, בשבת בערב, לא?
כן, כאילו אחרי שאני אחזור מהעבודה.
Delicious Jack Link's limited edition products and brand new epic in-game items that I promise you'll be dying to get your hands on.
מה אתה אומר, כל סטרימרים מקבלים למשחק חינם? הבנתי אבל שיש פה גם לוטבוקס, לא?
לוטבוקס? לא, מזמן אין לוטבוקסים בכל...
What the fuck, מה זה?
If you see it, grab your phone
אנשים פה ישתגעו אם יהיה פה...
Tune in to Call of Duty next. Squad up with Sasquatch and level up for the ultimate viewing experience, courtesy of Jack Links. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, folks, so keep your eyes peeled to spot the Sasquatch on the screen throughout the show. Scan that QR code and enter for a chance to win. But it is my absolute honor and pleasure to be on the desk, of course, alongside Maven. But we also have Jeff and Joe on here to talk all things Modern Warfare 2. Of course, our multiplayer design directors here.
אני חושב שזה רק לתושבים של ארצות הברית.
We're going to look at the gameplay. I am so excited to talk about it, but Maven, I've got to ask you, what do you want to dive into first? We have the two guys that are going to answer a question.
Well, first off, by the way, you guys killed it in the opening of the show. You know, it started real smooth. I'm sure nerves were going a little bit, but it was awesome to see. But I know we're going to have gameplay that's going to be popping up. We're going to chat through stuff, but I think one thing I kind of want to chat through is just there's been a lot of significant changes. You guys
אני רואה את נינג'ה ואת כולם שם לבושים יענו.
chat through kind of the perk change and where your head was at with regards to that, because it's a big change. It's interesting.
Yeah, you know, perks haven't really been touched for a long time in the series, and I guess by nature they're passive, and so most of the time we found people just, you know, find the three that they like, and that's it. They kind of forget about the.
I said that earlier. That's me.
Yeah,
like, I find a few I like, and like that's my class. There we go.
We just wanted to come up with a system that was a little bit more engaging, and so we grouped them into 3 different categories. You get 2 to start with, and then you pick a third, and then you pick a fourth, and they're rewarded as you play. You really like how they proc at the end,
yeah. I mean, an announcer comes up, tells you what perk you got, and it kind of
רגע,
engages
סקורסטריקס לא עושים כמו קולד וור?
So eventually you'll get them, and you're not gonna. It doesn't reset on death. It allowed us to kind of like create a couple more powerful perks and put them at the end, because you're not going to have them the whole match. And there's some interesting depth there where you can say, okay, UAVs are really powerful early match. Like there's different things you can do where you're kind of like, if you're one of those players who really wants to noodle, you're like, okay, I know these aren't in play yet.
Well, I guess, listen, it's very different, but I'm also a big like RPG guy, so I like the process of like unlocking things and earning things. It's just like at the core of who I am. So I dig that, just like the progression over the course of one single map. I think is very cool.
Yeah, it just feels good. It feels good reminded what you have.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Oh, and I guess we didn't touch on actually is the packages, right? From like, we're talking a lot about the theory.
זה לא סריס, זה כמו הסקורסטריקס, זה כמו קולד וור, אתה לא מאבד את זה
You just say, you know, I want this playstyle, I just grab this package and go. And then later on, when you're like, okay, I like that, but I want to noodle a little bit, you can hop in and create your own packages.
You know, that kind of,
כי אני פחות אוהב להיות כזה סוויטי במולטיפלייר.
And we've packaged in, based on those kind of player behaviors we were talking about earlier, we've usually shipped 6 or 5 default bladeouts, but we have 6 with this one.
Okay.
We found 2 for each
לא יודע, זה נראה לי קצת
those perk packages are
אני לא יודע, משהו פה לא מסתדר לי כל כך עם הגרפיקה, אתה יודע? כאילו זה נראה בדיוק כמו אחד. באמת.
בסדר, כמה כבר הם יכולים לשפר?
שכן, איזה כיף אחי, התשתית שלי פה פצצה, כי לא קורס לי מ4,500 ביטרי.
Well, I'm curious in like playtesting, did you see like a I'm sure everyone has a way they view themselves as a player, like maybe you want to start as more of like a simple player. Did you see like as people got more comfortable with the game, like an evolution towards maybe a faster pace, or what did you notice when playtesting these different types of things?
לא, הם צריכים להראות את הוורזון של המובייל.
הם אמרו שיהיה גיימפליי בכלל?
כן, 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 היה רשום שיהיה גיימפליי.
There are these other players and we wanted to just make sure that, you know, we're supporting all of them. And so, you know, some of the field upgrades can be more sentinel and trying to hold down positions. But that's why we added in DDoS, like we said. Just say, I've had enough. I want to pause all this stuff and make it go away. But we also leaned into creating game modes that can facilitate this kind of siege gameplay.
Now we talk about the rushing players, right? But we also want to talk about the pacing, the movement, you know, what it looks like, how it feels to be in game. And when I got a chance to get on the sticks yesterday, something I noticed is it is a little bit slower paced, right? We're going to be sprinting round, not sliding round. And I think another thing I want to talk about is the dolphin dives. I've been diving down escalators, getting prone, looking at hard points, trying to figure out, can I see bomb site B or A? Like, you know, it's pretty incredible with the movement and how it feels. What was it like making that? What were the decisions behind that pushing forward? Because the feel of the game is huge.
Yeah, I think fluidity, and I mentioned it previously, is like really important, right? But we did make some small tweaks, right? Like slide has a little bit more of a hang up so that people aren't just sliding around the map, so that they're actually moving through spaces, checking corners, and kind of like pacing themselves. But the general movement of guns should be almost exactly the same. And Jeff and I regularly check in. We're like, okay, how are we doing? Like, let's look at last game, let's look at this game. And we try and be consistent in that regard. But there have been these small tweaks, and the dive is one of those tweaks. The ledge hang is one of those tweaks. And those will change how people move through a space, right? You won't throw yourself over a wall, you'll peek that wall first.
Yeah, I love the ledge hangs because, you know, just testing out yesterday, being able to kind of ledge hang and really use it as intel as well. I think when it comes to multiplayer and competitive side, that's kind of where I'm at here, is being able in S&D, just being able to know where people are, give that intel to your team, peek that back down again, making sure you're not getting your dome ripped off by a sniper. Of course, major stuff here, but and exciting that the fact that you can get your secondary weapon out and start to put a bit of damage in and help out there. So in terms of ledge hang, where did that come from? What was the idea behind it? You know, why is it so special to have that in the game?
To be honest, it came out of face planting too many times.
Parachuting
in, just missing that ledge. And you're like, nope, that's frustrating. Let's fix that.
We've all been there. Like when you've been playing Warzone, like you're trying to like hop and grab it, and you just like. It's like you want to hit the button to like activate the pull-up, but then you hit your shoot and you're like falling down. It can be so frustrating.
Yeah. So I mean, really, that's where it came from. But
yeah, it was also the high mantle too, right? Like late when we were developing Modern Warfare, and then you know Warzone started to come out. We had these walls and things. We ended up turning up the mantle height in Warzone.
Okay.
And it didn't feel as polished, but it allowed people to get over walls they otherwise couldn't. But like I said before, you kind of commit, and now you're like throw yourself over a wall and get shot as you make that transition. So the high mantle is definitely like get up, you can peek, or you can just double tap it and pull yourself over if you're in a hurry. It just adds that extra layer of like I can be a little bit smarter about how I move through the space.
That's a good note that you know, we make all of the equipment, all of the movement, and all of these things for scalability, and we have to kind of check ourselves that everything we put here is going to show up in Warzone.
Well, now you've got this like metaverse of like there's so much.
It's a big kind of like I was saying earlier, right?
Like hard, man, I'm sure.
It's like how do you add different things in and
אבל אחי, אתה יודע כמה צופים יש עכשיו בטוויץ' למודרן וורפר 2?
I guess for me, when I do the one thing, at least for me, that really separates Call of Duty from a lot of other shooters. It's like, it does feel so fluid, but like there's a limit to that.
יש דרופים בטוויץ' אחי? למה כולם עושים דרופ?
Like you want to be some realism to it, but like, how can you add that realism and the ability to, I mean, think about, I don't know, 10 years ago, what you were able to do with just like interacting with the map and what it's come to now. I mean, it's insane how much it's changed.
We had to argue to get sprinting into, I think it was COD 4.
I'm sure.
We didn't have that, and so like just the evolution of where.
Yeah, it's come a long ways. I played the very first one, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty special, and something else that's a bit special as well is the fact that we have all these content creators behind us doing ungodly replays, especially Myth here on Prison Rescue. Just going to check this one out and see exactly what went down here. And Prison Rescue is going to be a really exciting one, of course, because you have to get that objective done. You need to go rescue the prisoner, and carrying them out is going to be huge because that icon does disappear. You know, how did it work with this prisoner, being able to put them in the game, knowing that somebody's going to have to run this prisoner back and extract them, and having that defense to be set up later on and have to completely and utterly change the game, go to that defensive mode? What was the kind of makings behind that?
So it was actually kind of a hard mode to make, and we went through all these different iterations, and we had these problems where like, hey, the modes around rescuing these prisoners, but people, they weren't able to, right? We're like, hey, do this heroic thing, and rounds just kept ending in elimination because it was so hard. And that's why we added the suit that you get when you get the prisoner, and that's why we took the icon away when you pick the prisoner up. Because we were going through, and we tried with one prisoner, we tried with two, we tried all these different iterations. And it took a while before everything kind of clicks.
לא, על השופ, נכנס למשחק, יש לך שופ, סקינים וכאלה?
But this one took a lot of work, a lot of finessing, and then we finally got it to where there is this balance, and we're seeing more hero moments. And that replay we saw, he actually, I think of that one, but while we were talking earlier, I saw him actually pick up the prisoner and take it all the way to extract and have that run, and that's what we wanted, that hero run.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about like how crazy it's gotten. Like I don't envy you guys at all. I mean, I do. You have great jobs, but like the fact that you have to think about like everything within this sandbox, like from when you're trying to make a new mode, like how is some new movement or anything going to affect Warzone? How's it going to affect Ground War? Like,
I think at every game you have that moment at the end of the previous one. You're like, okay, how do we squeeze more blood from this stone?
Yeah, right, right.
And it's like. But then you start iterating and trying different things, and you do kind of like, all of a sudden it's ballooned, and you're like, oh no, we have to cut stuff. We have too much.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, Joe, this is a pretty hard question, but just to kind of wrap things up here, you know, I think when you talk about Call of Duty, when you listen to feedback from players and different generations, they always talk about that nostalgic feeling that they get when they get on the game. What is it about Modern Warfare 2 this time around, this title in particular, do you think that is going to bring generations back years to come and say, look, Modern Warfare 2, was my game, and this is why I want to play it year in, year out?
Yeah, you know, nostalgia is a weird thing, and I know from working on past games and people speaking so highly of these different things, and it's kind of where you're at in your world and your friends and things like that. And so for us, we can't really control that, but we try to lay out.
יאללה חברים, נסיים פה את הלייב,
you're kind of laying out a nice meal, and you're hoping that everyone enjoys it.